What are the most overused, redundant and annoying comments on Reddit? Setting aside meme catchphrases like "Sir, this is a Wendy's," my pick is whenever someone offhandedly mentions food, then someone else says "I like food," then someone else adds "they have food where I live" before proceeding to describe all the local restaurants in their area that only but them gives a about, then someone else starts a sub-thread about how I know how to cook fancy, and so on. Every one of these threads will be 600 posts long and take 18 minutes to scroll past. Mop, following with Elena. Archer is my favorite show, but this comment chain is under every video of suddenly something loud happening while Odie is wearing ear protection, like a negligent discharge of a firearm at home, of a car tire exploding. It's way overused and everyone using it should be chat banned for a month. Same with most comments that are overused memes. Makes this site way too predictable and rape-ive. Please put an NSFW tag on this. I was on the train and when I saw this I had to start furiously masturbating. Everyone else gave me strange looks and were saying things like "what the" and "call the police." I dropped my phone and everyone around me saw this image. Now there is a whole train of men masturbating together at this one image. This is all your fault. You could have prevented this if you had just tagged this post NSFW. WTF, who wrote this, a 12-year-old? I think a lot of them cycle, though many of the top ones really are a bit annoying, but I also understand where they come from because it really is unexpected to get all that attention at once. I am starting to get a little tired of this guy's XYZ comment, but only because I keep seeing it in every thread. I'm sure that one song that dude tortured his girlfriend to for 2 years will get there eventually. Anti-American comments. Where people constantly act like Americans think they are better than everyone else, even though I've rarely met an American that thinks that way. It is a really old stereotype. If anything, this current generation of Americans are obsessed with trashing their own country. Like, I get it, America has some issues, but there is this weird obsession with American issues as if other countries don't have issues. I don't see the "this or kind stranger" comments as much. Thoughtful face. I'm on some gaming and art subs. Women posing with a hobby project have gone from a wooga wooga comments to people anti-ting those comments and creating antagonistic self-fulfilling prophecies of manifesting the toxicity by announcing over and over again how inevitable it's going to be. That's where the sorts by controversial comments are very emo. Someone who posts something that could have been written by Chuck Palahniuk, with beautiful wording, perfect grammar and spelling, and then for some mysterious reason apologizes for their English, because it's not their native tongue. Bitch, you know your English is good, stop fishing for compliments. Sorry for my English BTW, you probably couldn't understand anything I just said because I'm actually Dutch. When you give critique or an honest opinion and users reply saying that you think you're better than everyone or something along those lines. There's also a user I won't name for harm purposes who goes on to every single Mexican food post to gatekeep and complain if the food isn't authentic but fusion or Mexican inspired instead. They usually begin the comment with "Mexican here." They then take the food and cross-post it in a subreddit that proceeds to shame and belittle the user's food. Don't let this distract you from the fact that in 1972 a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-team. Anything remotely close to Wins Law. https://i.imgur.com/zclch4m.pngx used a red background. You know who else used a red background? X had lots of flags. You know who else had lots of flags? X formed a violent mob. You know who else formed a violent mob? Just up and discuss current affairs like an adult without incessantly referring back to the 1930s boogeyman. It's a consequence of brainwashing. https://i.imgur.com/3tls1.png. Hashtag this post has been locked by this sub's mods. We find that the strictness of our subs rules make browsing a less fun experience for everyone involved, and we think it's better that way. If you think this is an error, feel free to send us a mod mail. We don't check them, so don't press the issue, but we are going to allow another user to create several rule-breaking threads in the meantime, citing the complexities of moderation before banning anyone who disagrees with this decision. Not necessarily a specific phrase, but any GIF or video that involves a woman that is in any way attractive or showing skin is flooded with comments ranging from needless objectification paid off as a joke to truly disgusting comments. It's shocking behavior and just shows why we have problems with ism and rape culture if you can't watch a video of a woman doing something completely normal without commenting on her or appearance. This is more niche, but in any thread about a scientific/polling finding, there is always a comment along the lines of "isn't this common sense?" Often the science in most need of confirmation is that which is thought to be common sense. Which doesn't even address the fact that often, the common sense people think is being discussed is because they only read the summary article, rather than looking at the original research article itself. Generally, I'd say, somebody get this guy a reward. I would get you Reddit gold if I wasn't so broke. Ding ding ding. This. And a bit sub-specific, but say for/r/science or any variation of it, what's the sample size? Or this isn't enough samples, duh, we already knew this are some low-hanging fruits. For/r/data is beautiful, I'd say, what does the data look like in per capita? This data is not beautiful. Underrated comment. This. Username checks out. And the worsting offenders, spin-offs of previous comments. This guy knows the way, this guy hydrates, I'm not your guy buddy, I'm not your buddy friend, etc. Most comments have a 3 to 4 page scroll to get past people just changing a word in a sentence and reposting it. I've decided most of Reddit is just bots or NPCs doing this kind of thing. This. Underrated comment. Take my upvote. I had to scroll too far to find this. Edit, wow this blew up / thanks for the likes. I also choose this guy's wife. Have you tried therapy? Get a divorce. Thanks for the gold kind stranger. Is it just me or underscore? This guy gets it. I could keep going, but all of these makes me fume. All these stupid comments that add nothing and are so overused.